Hi, my name is Swati Wag and I'm the Science Outreach Librarian at Benedictine. Today in your course, I'm going to walk you through how to do searches, literature searches in the databases that we have access to. So here, this is where you will go whenever you want to enter the BenEDU portal, right? You follow the same thing and then click on the library, which is here. Okay, so from here, when you go here, I want you to look at something called research guides. This is like a cheat sheet for you to look at and will explain most of the concepts that I'm going to be talking about in this. Okay, and if you go through it diligently, you should be able to do a search perfectly. Okay, thanks for listening to that. Okay, let me go. Course is under course. I will go to BIOL5505 and here it will tell you what this kind of guide tells you about. Then where to start? Everybody has a question of where do I start? How do I do a search in the databases? And that's why I'm giving you this short outline. What are the steps? My topic is going to be global warming. What is the effects of global warming on infectious diseases? In the previous screen, we saw that these are the most challenging global health issues right now. We all know about pandemics. We are living through COVID, and then environmental factors, economic disparities, etc. But right now, I'm going to focus on environmental factors, and then I'm going to say, how does global warming affect diseases, mostly infectious diseases? Okay, that's what my search is going to be. Now, how do I do this search? My first step is to find out the keywords. You know, global warming and infectious diseases are the keywords, right? And then now our job is to convert these keywords that we come across to the indexing terms used by the databases. I'm going to go through two databases today. One is PubMed and the other is Web of Science. And I have for both of these, I have the live search that I will be doing shortly in both the databases using our keywords. Okay, and then I wanted to explain another thing, something called Boolean operators. Now, what is a Boolean? It's just a way of using and, or not, which are the Boolean operators, and combining them with our keywords in some kind of a meaningful way. Now, or signifies that it's global warming or climate change. That means it's synonyms or related terms. You know, some are extreme weather conditions or weather incidents. You know about all the flooding and the forest fires that are taking place. So these are some of the terms that we are going to use, and the asterisk there tells you that it is truncated. That means it's singular and plural, and so on. Next keyword or concept is infectious diseases. So again, what are the synonym? Infectious diseases or emerging infectious diseases. I'm purposely using this word emerging because we have found out that once global warming started and some of the ice melted in the polar regions, animals or humans who died of smallpox or some other previously controlled disease has reappeared and is considered to be ineffective against the vaccines. So there's a resurgence of infectious diseases because of global warming and the melting of the ice. So that's why we call it emerging infectious diseases. Now, when we are going there, that's why I'm going to put infectious diseases or emerging infectious diseases. And we are going to use and to combine the two concepts in a search statement. That means We want both of these concepts to be in that research topic that we want to look at. And so step 3, do a search in PubMed, look at subjects, the article. That's what I'm going to go live now, okay? So let me copy this, global warming, and then I'm just going to copy and paste it in PubMed for now, okay? I'm going to do this copy, and then I'm going to my library page again, this home page, and I'm going to databases. Now, databases is a collection of articles mostly. If you can imagine them all floating around in the world, publishers collect all these articles and put it in some meaningful way so that you can access it easily by author, by title, by subject. There are different ways of accessing these journal articles, okay? And here, if I click on databases, I'm going through the list. I go to P for PubMed. That's where our search is going to be. Now, what is PubMed? PubMed is the premier database for medical literature. It is put out by the National Library of Medicine. And if you log in and create a user ID and password, it's easier for you because it tracks all the searches you do. And if maybe at the end of the semester you want to look at how you did a search, then you know where to go and look, okay? And it'll be there. So I can do an advanced search here. And then remember, our first word that we thought about was infectious diseases, right? And then I'm going to say show index. And there is this much. So I'm going to say 360, say, and add. So this search statement is put in here, right? And then the next one that I wanted was, I'm not going to put emerging infectious diseases now because I can do it. Let's do it. Emerging. The reason I'm showing you this is there's another easier way of doing it. If we find something called a controlled vocabulary, that is something that the National Library of Medicine indexes there, map all these different keywords that we come across and put it in to a controlled vocabulary term that is universal, then we don't have to put or and find synonyms and related terms and see what it could be indexed under, right? So all we have to do is find the subject heading and do the search. So I'll come to that in a little while, but this is just a warning for you. And then I'll say show index, and this is that. And now I'm going to say or, because that's a synonym. And that will tell me infectious diseases or emerging infections. These are our concepts, right? The next one was global warming. I'm going to do the same thing. Show index. And it says yes. And this is going to be an and because I want that concept in there. I'm going to change it to an and then put it there. So it will take all these terms, you see the brackets that are going around and here, and then we're going to put another term which is climate change. Let's do with just these and then I'll go to the next step here, right? Okay, so I'm going to say show index, there's 52 of them, and then I'm going to say or. So I want global warming or climate change. And then I'm going to say fine, I'm satisfied. I'm going to do a search. Okay. Now I get 56,287. That is a lot of stuff, right? So now this is what happens. And here is one related migration infectious diseases. Let's look at this one. This is 2015. And for all of you in the medical field, currency for the information is 5 years. After that, it becomes obsolete. So for here, I'm going to look at 5 years. I'm going to reduce it by 5 years. I get 33,000. Then I'm going to say I want only articles, right? Review articles and a systematic review. These are two separate things. A review article is written by some expert in the field who traces how the subject developed, how emerging infectious diseases developed from maybe 90s to current time, because that's when we started realizing that global warming was having an effect, right? So this is where I would go and put that. 5 years that will give you the background. If you start on a news topic, you don't know what it is about, right? So you need to have some kind of a inkling as to what it is about, and this a review article will give you that. A systematic review is a totally different beast, right? It is done by experts, and it is done by computer networks, through computer networks, because it'll be a group research project funded by NIH or some other agency, big agency. And then scientists in the field get together and they say, we are going to use these terms to search these databases and then find out what the information is. And then it's also used for drugs. What's the impact of a drug on a particular disease? And then they will find which is the best one. And they go through each article that they come up in. It'll be in the thousands of articles that they find, about 100,000 of them. And they analyze all this and come up with a common theme that X article said this drug was effective if so and so happened. So it's a huge project, and it's mostly in what we call secondary or tertiary literature. It's not primary literature, which is straight research from the actual scientist who did the work and published it. This is like other people. It's a difference between a biography and an autobiography. The primary literature is written by the person performing the research. Now, the secondary systematic reviews is done by a group of people who are analyzing the primary literature. That's the difference, okay? Now, here I'm going to look at something called this neglected tropical diseases. This is a free article. It's a review. It might help us to look into it, but let me look at it, okay? And then it's free full text here. You can look at it. And then I'm going to scroll down and show you the MESH terms. That's the medical subject headings term that it gives me. This article is indexed under, it'll give me that in a minute. Let me see. MESH terms are climate change, humans, neglected diseases, all of that, okay? But remember that you can look at the MESH terms and decide if that is exactly what you wanted or not, okay? So we are going to go back to the others. If you find one article that you like, look at the similar articles. This is systematic review. This is lost, neglected, tropical, 10 years of progress. But you want the link between global climate change and the re-emerging infectious diseases. But I didn't see it there, so I'm not going to look at it much. I'll go to the others, but you get the gist. You have to look at it. Now, the easiest way to do this search, therefore, is to do by MESH headings. So I'm going to go back to my National Library PubMed page, and instead of going and doing a search here, I'm going to scroll down and look at MESH, okay? And then here I'm going to put my first term, which is emerging infectious diseases. And then I'm going to say, okay, look, let's see what it is indexed in. You see what it is written under? It's communicable diseases emerging. That's a MESH heading, and that is important to remember. So all you have to do now is, I'm not going to use these subheadings because it tells me what I want to know about it. If it was history, I would have clicked on that and looked at it. but I don't know yet what I want to concentrate on, so I'm just going to leave it blank. And if I restrict it to major subject headings, then it will be the major headings. There will be communicable diseases emerging. That will be the focus of the whole article. I can do that just to get precision, okay, to get most relevant articles. So I'm going to do that, and I'm not going to click on this, because if I want all these included subheadings, then if I click on this, it will search under everything that is there, and it'll be too much. So I don't want to do that. I'm just going to click on this, and then I'm going to say add to search builders. Okay, there it is. There it came up, and it says major. It's a mesh heading. Then the next mesh heading I want is for global warming, and then it takes me to what is the preferred term, right? That means I don't have to look at, and it tells me when this term came about, and then it tells me global warming, climate change. So here I would take climate change, because this will be under, so I can say, okay, I want it under global warming and sea level change or whatever. Okay, so I'm going to put it there as leave it and then restrict to major subject heading. I don't want to do that there. Okay, so I'm going to put and say add to search builder, and then search PubMed. Okay, and I get, let's see, 576 from 2009 to 2022. So I'm going to reduce the number to, again, like I did before, 5 years, and then I get 33. So save our only planet, mammal, all of these, global patterns emerging. See, this is a good one for you to look, and it's a free article, and it's a review article. Okay, but you get the gist of what I'm trying to tell you. This is a good way of looking for searches to do, how to do a search. Use the subject heading and do a search. You can get the full text if you want, and you can do related. Let's look at this one. Impacts emerging transmission resistance, animals and plants, climate change. Let's look at this. This looks like a good one. And here you can view the full text here. And if you go down, similar articles, these are other ones that you can look at too, and add it to your bibliography when you're doing it. And this one, climate change, emergence and of COVID-19 pandemic, this is something, it's a review article. And now what is it cited by? That means this article on the top here, which was published in 2021, between 2021 and 2022, it was cited by this one person. So this is the most current information on that topic, so you can look at it. It's a review article, you can look at it. Okay, this is basically I was going to tell you, and you're not going to learn all this at one sitting. You have to keep on trying, and as always, if you are stuck somewhere, you don't know what to do, please give me a call. It's 847-312-4845. That's my cell number. Right now I'm working from home. From February 7th I'll be hopefully on site, but if you need to contact me, please remember this number. It's on the website too, on that research guide too, so you should be able to contact me. Okay, and thank you. Now next I'm going to the Web of Science, which is another database, and there you can do either subject search, or you can do keyword search. It's easier to do that. Okay, so bye.